welcome to the Mythic tier in review. I'm your host, Queen V875, but I would just like to welcome everybody here to talk not only about the Mythic tier, these wonderful, great players, but talk about the best of the best in VDC, the top of the top. Today, we are welcomed and joined by three of these lovely players. If you want to wave or say a quick hello, we are going to get started. So what I'd first like to do is maybe start with Miya, and then we'll kind of just go through the names. I'd like everyone to just tell a little bit about who they are, how long they've been a part of VDC, what franchise they were a part of this season, and how they came to know VDC. So let's start with Miya.
Hi, I'm Miya. I've been playing VDC for 2 seasons. The first season was quite a while ago, it was about a year ago, and I came back recently for this season just to get back into playing with an organized group of people. I think that's my favorite part of this whole thing, although I'm sure we'll get to that later. I'm 25 and I live in Canada.
Wait, Canadian represent? Hold on, how did we not talk about that? I'm also Canadian. Whoa. Pretty sick. Yo, Canadians, we're taking over. Everyone watch out.
I really like the social atmosphere of everything, so it's cool to make friends with this group.
I love it. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Let's go to Stick next.
Hi, my name is Stick. Also go by Bristle sometimes, or Sniper Monkey. I think my first season was in season 2. I've been playing ever since, just been a part of community. Kind of been like talking more and more as each season goes on. I just like being in an organized setting for Valorant. It's more relaxing than competitive in a way. It's kind of what's kept me going through all these seasons.
So it's more relaxing, more chill and laid back than kind of what you're experiencing in the ranked queue system?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Wow. That's a very different answer than we heard in Prospect. So I'm loving this answer. Loving it. All right, and let's go to our last player. Woo.
Hello. I'm Melu. I also go by, well, my Valorant name right now is Toji. I also go by Pingu. A lot of other people call me that. Also by Gert, but my former teammates call me. But I started VDC in season 2. I was in actually the tier below this. When I first started, I played for LG for that season, and then I got promoted, played for the same org. We won the championship, and then we sadly lost our team. I went to TT after that, which I did play with Stick there, but I wasn't there a lot, and I was kind of busy during that. So I like playing VDC. I've met what I consider lifelong friends. Froggy, which is the AGM of LG, like all of those people, and all the AGM and GM for TT, Potato, and Envious, and my friend Shrug, Eclipse, Zoro, Lenny Kravitz. If you know them, you know them. They're great people. But that's why I enjoy this. I've been able to meet people like this. That's awesome, and I'll future play Valorant with them all the time, and maybe other things as well.
Wow, that's so exciting. I like actually hearing from all three of you because all of you three brought 3 different aspects of why you like VDC, right? There's the there's the competitive play aspect. That's a more relaxing atmosphere, but still getting to enjoy the game, but also like the friendships that you get to make. Hopefully those people who you named come to the video and come get to support you and cheer you on. We'll hopefully see that in the comments below. But next things next, I want to talk a little bit about Mythic. Going into the season, y'all signed up, but how are combines like in Mythic in comparison to other tiers, for example? So what kind of was your experience like in combines?
I really enjoyed combines. I think it's cool to be able to play with lots of different teams. I like that sort of pickup. I played a lot of hockey growing up, being in Canada, so playing like pickup hockey with people was always a lot of fun. And it's a similar atmosphere where you're getting to play with lots of different people. Everyone's really friendly, almost everyone. I think to speak to what Stick was talking about with that sort of like more comfortable atmosphere, like because there's sort of a reputation, I guess, for each people. I'm not 100% sure exactly what it is, but I think the people who gravitate towards playing in VDC are the kind of people that are looking to be friendly and supportive and play well as a team, and to like have a lot of laughs and enjoy themselves. So I think the combines were a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed the process of getting to know some new people, whether I'm going to be on their team or not. I thought that was really nice, and sort of flex out, sort of get a feel for the way that you would just the way that you'd like to play outside of a ranked environment. Ranked can really influence, being in a ranked environment can really influence how you play the game. And so playing the combines before the season sort of gets you prepped for that more coordinated environment that you'll be playing in when you get to the season.
No, I like that you kind of compared it a lot with kind of IRL, like pickup hockey. It's just a bunch of people coming together, essentially, right? You're kind of thrown into the voice channel. You might not know people, or if you've been around, you might be really excited to get to hang out and be able to play with certain people. Would you say that Combines is quite busy in Mythic, or would you say that as the kind of Combine season went on, that things slightly changed? Or would you say it was kind of just the same, and then you kind of just went straight into draft?
I showed up for every combine session for at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 of them. I showed up to every single one. I played in something like 32 matches, I think it was. It was 32 or 31 matches, which is way more than I needed to. But it was always very consistently full of people. Most nights we had, I'm not sure if it was more nights. It was about half of the nights that we had 2 lobbies running, and then towards the end, I think it did start to dwindle a little bit as people were finishing all of their games, but I enjoyed them so much I wanted to just keep coming back and playing them.
32 matches. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I played more combines than anyone else. I'm not sure, but I played almost all of them.
Where are the VDC history books? So I'm going to fact check that. I want to see what that's like. The research has taken place on vdc.gg/stats, and it looks like Miya is top 3 with Next Gen Mason also in the Mythic tier. That's bananas to me. But Sticker Melu, what are your combines experience like this season?
Mine was, I kind of had a little of a mixed bag, but usually like one game you'll figure out and people are like, yeah, maybe this person isn't good to play with, and more than else, they probably won't be playing if they're not that good. They're not a good person. So I do think that you kind of just weed out everyone, and then most people left kind of all genuinely good people and people you would want to play with.
It sounds extremely cutthroat for Mythic. It's very much everyone kind of gets to see how everyone plays. You see the lobbies, you see whose it is, but also that kind of leads a little bit into the season too, because you guys get to know each other a little bit better. And then now you're in a season and now you're drafted onto teams with these combines and with these people that you've met. And regardless of how you feel about them, these are now your opponents. So you now go from this kind of for fun environment, and now we're into the competitive scene. I guess kind of the transition into draft, going into this season after draft, is this kind of where you had pictured yourself? The teams that you were drafted to and where you ended up sticking around to? Is this kind of what you had envisioned for yourself? And how was your team dynamics this season as well? Were there a lot of new players? Was it a lot of just bringing it back together? How did you feel about your teams?
Towards the end of last season, I ended up getting a suspension towards playoffs. So I came into this draft not thinking that I'd get picked towards or till like 5th round probably, because like I don't think anyone would want like a contingency on their team. So I never really thought that I would go first overall pick. When I met my team, and like I don't know if most teams do this, but after the draft they do like 10 mans within like the franchise of everyone that got drafted. After I met my team, because all the Mythic players ended up playing, I wouldn't say super high hopes, but like it was nice seeing different people than staying on the same franchise for the past 4 seasons. And it's definitely nice to meet new faces.
First overall pick too. Quite an exciting moment for you, I'm sure, as well, and then getting to be on your team. Melu, what about you coming into Double Taps this season? How are you feeling about your team?
I felt better because I had one of my good friends with me, so I knew we're just gonna have a good time. So I mean, I think we all had a good time. We just had fun playing the game. I didn't perform to my expectations, but it's my own fault for not playing the game as much outside of VDC and maybe getting 50 ranked matches in an act. So it is my fault, but I think you should have fun first. Winning is part of the fun. So
That's such an interesting thing that you just said. You only played around 50 ranked games outside of VDC. Like that's, to me, is as of just a regular VDC, like regular Valorant player is an astonishing number. So maybe I'm gonna segue us for a little second. How much Valorant do you guys play outside of VDC? Do you play a lot of Valorant?
this season didn't play any Valorant outside of VDC. I just played VDC. That's actually why I came back to play VDC, was that I wasn't enjoying ranked. Didn't have the time to put into ranked, but still wanted to play the game. And when I sat down to play, I didn't want it to be with ranked. Like, you can play for a whole evening, and a portion of the games will go well, but not all of them. And I really liked the idea of playing VDC because I wanted a consistent experience. So playing with the same people and getting to sort of evolve as a team, versus like sort of just throwing myself into ranked and trying my best.
I think I had around the same amount of games as Melu in competitive, and then other than that, after every like season match, I just play Rocket League. I would barely touch Valorant.
That's so fascinating to me. I do love what you said about the team evolving together and the aspect of Valorant ranked system where you're being put against so many different people versus you're being with the same crew. You're evolving together, you're working together, going through challenges together as well. It seems like Melu, you mentioned a little bit too. Not only is it the aspect like, yeah, you're here to have fun, but when you do have those wins, you feel like you can celebrate those wins. When you have those challenges, it's okay. What can we do to work through those challenges? What can we do to make the next match day even better? So I love the paradigm that you both just brought up there. Thinking a little bit, going a little off script here, just because I'm loving where this is going. Thinking about the season and the teams that you all had, I'm hearing, Melu, that you liked the fun of it, that Miya, you liked the team aspect of it, because that's pretty much all you did. I'm thinking over to Stick, because I think you had a couple of subs in and out this season in particular. Can you talk a little bit about that experience versus having the 5 consistent players?
I think as a full 5, we only had 6 matches played, and then the rest of the match days or matches, we had at least 1 sub. And I think just trying to piggyback off of like what we want as like a set comp and is kind of like what kept us going. But in most match days, we also just didn't know what anyone wanted to play. So it was kind of just a toss up if we were going to win or not. We Our main focus was just to have fun.
It's interesting that you say that. Yeah, you didn't know what you were going to play, but at least at the end of the day, the idea of having fun is the center of VDC. It's what it should be. I'm looking at some of you advanced players over there, right? But it's what it should be, and that's why we all sign up at the end of the day to have fun. Yes, there is an aspect of winning is fun. I can hear that from Melu. I can also think of some double taps players who've also said that in the past as well. But getting also to have moments where you feel as though you've contributed to something, I think is a piece. So maybe segueing into the next kind of topic I have, is there a standout moment this season that you had where you're like, yeah, that was one of my favorite moments of this season? Or like a standout, like even it could be like a clutch, it could just be like, after that game we did this. Like, was there a moment where with your team you were like, yeah, this is why I signed up for VDC?
Like in the last match day, Six team was the only team that's guaranteed playoffs, and literally every other team had a chance to get in the playoffs. So I think we were on our last map. We were in overtime. We were down 14-13, so it was just like, if we lose this round, it's over. It is up to our boy Shrug. Bond 1v4. I've seen him win. That's, I don't know how he does it. He always wins a 1v4 on Bond in ranked VDC. It's an it's the craziest thing ever. I just sit back and I think, this guy's just gonna win this. It's just in his blood. And he won that round, and I think we were all so hype. I felt like doing a backflip out of my chair. And I think we just rode that momentum to win that and just guarantee the spot in the playoffs. So I mean, even though we did get, maybe my own fault that we did get beat in the playoffs, but the fact that we made it, it's just, everyone was just so hyped. And it was probably actually the first time we all 5 stayed in call after the VDC matches, and just talked and did stuff together.
A lot of team bonding there, and I'm sure there could have been like chair flips, like the Thor smashing the mug scene in Avengers, right? And like I can definitely see the hype there, but also just like a great moment to think on, like making playoffs, and also hearing and seeing how tight the race was for playoffs in Mythic this season was something that made even watching streams and being a part of streams a lot more fun, because really every moment felt really tight. So it was very exciting to see that kind of aspect as a viewer as well.
Yeah, I think it was overall it was a good season. My team went one for one. So like in the score of leading up to the playoffs, we went 1 for 1 with every team until right at the end when we managed to 2-0 a team. And I don't actually remember which team it was, but so it was a very it was a very exciting season to just a lot of the time we would lose the first game. Sometimes we would win the first one, but usually we'd lose the first one, and then there would be a comeback for us emotionally and spiritually, I guess. Um, so there were a lot of exciting moments where we fought our way back into a match, and by the end by the end we needed to win again. We needed to go 1 for 1 to make it into playoffs. We managed to 2-0 that team and make it through, and that was quite exciting. It came down right to the last game, so that was awesome. I guess there was one moment I can think of now where Winters was playing Omen on our team on Lotus, and he had a phenomenal series of rounds with the judge that really got us back into that game, um, where he would just do sort of ridiculous things coming out of the smoke with a judge and eliminating three. And those moments were awesome, cheering him on.
I love that. Judge moments are always come out of nowhere. Very unexpected, hit or miss, but especially as an Omen, it definitely feels like I can definitely sense the hype there, especially the hype for another player on your team. So thank you for sharing that.
Season defining moment for us was one of our first 2-0s, and we played Ascent, and instead of doing like the basic comp, we played Yoru Chamber, Viper, Omen, and Fade, and we kind of just all played characters that we like to play, or it was a Breach instead of a Viper. We all just played characters that we were comfortable on, and I wouldn't say that like we fucked around, but we all thought of like uh plays that we could do together on like characters that we know well and that we played constantly. And winning that map kind of easily really just showed how much we could do as a team if we really put our minds to it. And Muted House played a perfect role into IGLing, and everybody else had their own thoughts that he would go off of as well. One moment that I guess for like the whole season would be, I think it was streamed. It was it was like our first match day, and I had a 1v3 clutch on KO, and I ended up getting the guy in like the last 0.3 of a second to win the round over. And everyone was just really hype about that.
Yeah, the adrenaline was definitely pumping. I can 0.3 of a second is definitely wild, and I can even imagine like just how exciting that could have been, and the adrenaline, also the hype, bringing you into the rest of the game there. So that's exciting. Wow. I'm loving how positive people are talking about their experience this season. I'm glad that some of you had those positive experiences to be able to talk about, but also think about for VDC. And I'm glad that all of y'all have teams that you feel like you could contribute to, but also feel as though you were a part of. That sense of belonging and the identity that you get from being on a team as well. So then, kind of moving forward into the end of season, playoffs, finals. At the end of the season, did you find what you were looking for out of VDC? Kind of, did you reach the goal of what you were looking for? Did you exceed some of your expectations, or did you find yourself craving more and looking for next season?
I think I got exactly what I was looking for. My expectation was just to have a consistent group of people to play with and to play matches that we felt like were worth something, that we could really enjoy. The time spent focusing on our teammates and the experience of playing a more coordinated game. And whether we win or not, I mean, it was exciting to make it into playoffs, but then we got knocked out right away. So that didn't really matter to me that much. I just enjoyed playing. It was a good time.
I'll be a little negative here. I don't think I did not perform to the standards that I wanted to this season. And I think that is I play partially because I played Sentinel. I don't think I can really play like how I want to when I play Sentinel. And playing ranked this act, I've actually played a lot of ranked this act. Uh, I've learned that I can only play Omen and Raze because I can run spray because I played Overwatch all the time and you're always on the move, so that's just something I guess I'm used to. Hopefully, I'm hoping for next season that I can play a lot better and probably play Omen and Smokes this next season.
I think it's also important to reflect on these things too. Like, it's not being negative, it's being, you're allowing yourself to review, to be constructive, and to move forward, right? So I think a big piece is if you're not happy with something, how can you advocate for yourself in the future to be able to, not only as a player, play the way you want to play, but see the ways that and the gifts that you have that you can bring to a team as well. Like, I think it's an important piece in VDC that you're not fitting a mold that a team needs. You're yourself, and they need to fit around you. So I think it's really important that you brought that up as well. Although a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, we'll leave the fighting to the comments. We'll leave the fighting to the comments. So thank you, Melu, for sharing that. By the way, thank you for being vulnerable with that.
Well, for my finals and playoff review as the VDC Mythic champion, I guess we kind of went into playoffs kind of bummed out because our last two match days were like O2s. We kind of had to lock in. We also didn't have a exact 5 again for any of the playoff games, which sucked. But we had our, well, my favorite person in VDC, Brady, subbing for us, which was great. He's such a nice guy, and his like emotion is so out there. He always just brings the vibe up whenever we're playing, and it just really brightens everyone's mood when we're playing. And I guess that's a pivotal moment for our success in winning VDC. But our first matches went kind of shaky in playoffs, and then when we hit finals, we all kind of just like did consistent. And then coming into that last game, Jackson just put a stop to Casey, and he went all out and really just made the game winnable for us.
I also need to commend your stamina. Like, that was a 4.5 hour experience. So being able to play Valorant that long was really a test to not just how you play, but how long you can last, right? So like, you pretty much, hearing you say that he had to pull out all the stops, like 4 hours in, he had to really dig deep to try to push that out for your team there. So wow, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, and congratulations on a wild finals. Best of 5, you went straight to the end and proved yourself to be victorious. So huge congratulations there. And then I guess that reaches us to kind of the end of our Mythic tiered review and looking forward. I just want to hear what y'all are thinking about for next season. Are you thinking about coming back? You can be honest. But also, if you have any recommendations for any new players who might be watching this, who are like, hey, I'm around your rank, like, what can I expect?
What can you expect? Oh, that's a good question. I think you can expect to play with the same group of people consistently, and whether you like those people or not is completely undetermined beforehand. So you do have to be willing to stand up for yourself in a way and try to, like you said, build the team around, build the team yourself in a way. Like don't be too willing to bend to other people's ideas. Like, you want to play as a team, but you're part of that as well. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun as long as what you're coming into this experience looking for is to have fun. And if you're looking to just win a lot of games or be the best or something like that, to me, it's a strange way of looking at these things. I think it's just about enjoying yourself. And I think what brings me back and the reason I want to stay playing in VDC is that I really enjoy the atmosphere of and the energy of the other people, because everybody here cares and tries, and you never end up with people getting angry and running it down for very long. I mean, you can get upset, but it all smooths out in the end.
Advice for new player, same as him. You have fun. Something like there's a big difference between this and ranked. If you have a bad game, you're not gonna get flamed by your teammates. They should be able to like, hey man, it's fine. It happens. There's games. We just get them next time. That's what's better about this. You're not gonna lose any RR over losing a game. Your season's not over. You lose a game. One bad game. It's it's fine. It happens. Like compared to rank, everybody on the team will probably just call you things and be mean, blame you all the time. But it's different. It's definitely I've noticed. I'll just be down after I drop 9 kills in both playoff matches, and my teammates say, "It's okay, man. It happens. We'll just get them next season."
Definitely for new players, keep an open mind on like your performance, and I guess be open to meeting new people. Because I mean, you can be shy and not talk a lot, but like there's some moments where it's nice to meet new people. You can make new friends. Also, age range varies quite a bit, so don't be scared to meet some or be friends with someone that's older than you. And I guess just make sure all your peripherals are right and don't play a finals on the wrong sense.
I feel like there's a story there, but you'll have to ask him. You'll have to ask him in the comments below. We'll leave it on a cliffhanger there. I guess, yeah, that's kind of where I want to end off our Mythic tier in review. But just before we head out, just so that people who are watching can get a little bit more info on y'all, can you share a little bit about your rank that you are, your peak rank, or what rank you're at right now, where we can find you if you have any socials you'd like us to follow, or if you just like to say follow VDC, whatever you're feeling.
I'm Immortal 1. I peaked Immortal 3, and I don't use socials. But yeah, you can find me in the VDC Discord.
I'm hard stuck Ascendant 1. I've never seen a lot of any other rank other than Ascendant 1. I guess I have a YouTube. It's TY1 Space Pingu. I used to post Valorant videos on there, but it's kind of died down now. But that's about it.
I currently Immortal 1. I've peaked Immortal 3. And I guess my Discord is just Stick Val.
All right. Thank you to all of these lovely players for being able to talk to us, play this season. Thank you for sharing your stories. For everyone who's watching, let me know in the comments below how you felt about this Mythic tier in review. If you have any questions for these players, hit them up in the VDC Valorant, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.